Horizon Gens from Lucy Rex, and this is Miscellaneous Miss Fionn Cumhaill. Okay. Hey, remember Cumhaill? Of course I do. The ancient Hulk, apparently. 5,000 comments complaining about my pronunciation rain from the heavens. Okay. You do? I'm so glad. Anyway, Fionn isn't directly related to him, but the exploits of Fionn Cumhaill mix up the Fionn cycle of Irish mythology, while our buddy Coos make up the Ulster cycle. Oh, wait a minute, there are more Irish cycles? How many different type of cultures are there in Ireland? There are more than one? Okay. Two badasses, both alike in dignity, etc., etc. While there's significantly less mass murder and an level of over-the-top combat. Okay, the Fionn cycle gives us romance, bromance, action, and the best kind of ending. A total lack of an ending. Okay. Also, this video was sponsored. Yeah, okay. Fionn Cumhaill. So this is gonna be like Cumhaill. I don't know how to pronounce that either. That was an awesome video. You know, that was one of the best video I reacted from this channel. That was just awesome. All the Hulk type of thing, and just yeah. This is gonna be fun. I wrote quite a few Only Sarcastic Production videos already. If you haven't seen them, check out the cards. There's a playlist I wrote for it. Only Sarcastic Production Reaction, something like that. Upload lots of videos in 24 hours. So lots of time people don't get notification of the videos I upload. So you might have missed some of them. Check out the playlist. Check out the playlist too, like Real Life Lore, CGP Grey, Internet Historian, Tier Zoo. And yeah, let's watch this one.
Brought to you by our friends at the Great Courses Plus, so stick around to the end to learn how you can get a free 1-month trial. It's a well-known fact that Irish mythology has its fair share of badasses. Just look at Cumhaill for one of the prime examples. But in the foggy annals of Gaelic mytho-history, one badass rises above the rest as a shining example of peak awesome, almost by virtue of name alone. Leader of the Fianna, magically gifted with all the world's wisdom, and fortuitously granted a name befitting his coolness, this is the story of Fionn Cumhaill. Yeah, with a name like that, how could he not be a hero? Now, Finn's origins are a little complicated, but it's a fairly familiar story to us modern audiences. Stop me if you've heard this one. A sellsword mercenary captain falls in love with the beautiful daughter of a powerful wizard, but the father disapproves of their union. Okay, I didn't mean to actually stop me. Yeah, Cumhaill, leader of the Fianna, which is a ragtag band of warriors, falls in love with Muireann, daughter of Tadhg. But Tadhg, himself a powerful druid, knows, through some mystic whatever, that Cumhaill will bring about his downfall, so when Cumhaill comes calling for Muireann's hand, Tadhg turns him away. The story's unclear on Muireann's thoughts on the matter, but long story short, Cumhaill kidnaps her and sparks all-out war between the Fianna and the High King, who Tadhg had asked for help. Cumhaill is killed in the battle by this guy Gul Morna, but Muireann is already pregnant with Cumhall's son, and Tadhg rejects her as a result and orders her to be—
Yeah, classic story, isn't it? Doesn't matter what her opinion is on this. Who cares about her opinion, right? Classic story.
Burned. Luckily for everyone involved, the High King isn't a total dick and puts Muireann under his protection. Muireann gives birth to a son, who she gives to his aunt, the druidess Bomel, and her companion, the warrior woman Leah Lucra. So the kid, whose given name is Demne, grows up with fighter mom and druid mom, who teach him the ways of fighting and druiding. And before you ask, every source I found was very non-specific about the nature of Bomel and Leah's relationship, so interpret it however you want. So Demne is raised in secret, mostly because a metric boatload of warriors are waiting to gain mad prestige by murdering the son of the famous Cumhaill. But after a childhood of wacky shenanigans, he starts enlisting under various kings.
That was so fucked up. The kid is playing around and they're literally hiding in the bushes and just, come on already, grow up.
Who all end up figuring out his true identity because only the son of the legendary Cumhaill could be so all-around badass. Also, somewhere along the line, people start calling him Finn, which just means light-haired. Some version of the myth say the nickname got started when his hair turned prematurely white, while in others it's just because he didn't tell people his name, so they started calling him Blondie. Anyway, eventually, Finn runs into this dude Finnegas, a druid and poet who spent 7 years trying to catch the hilariously named Salmon of Wisdom, in the hopes that it will grant him the aforementioned wisdom. Coincidentally, the moment Finn shows up, he manages to catch it, and orders Finn to watch the salmon while it cooks, but not to eat any of it, while Finnegas runs off and does something somewhere else. But while Finn is tending the salmon, he accidentally burns his thumb on the grease. And
yeah, okay, so here's a salmon of wisdom. I just caught it. You know what, Finn? Just look, take care of this while I do something. Really? You have more important things to do right now?
sticks it in his mouth to cool. And seeing as this counts as consumption of some of the salmon, this immediately grants him the infinite wisdom of the Salmon of Wisdom. Finnegas returns, notices Finn looking a little smarter than before, and realizing what happened, lets Finn eat the rest of the salmon too. This grants Finn all the world's wisdom, but at a price. He can only access it by sucking his thumb. Anyway, Finn goes to the High King.
What the fuck? Yo, Finn. The town is under attack. We need your wisdom. We need your smarts. Oh, I'm coming. I'm gonna save the world. Oh, wait for it.
a different one than the one who fought his dad, to see about joining the Fianna. But things are a little awkward because the current leader of the Fianna is Gull, the man who killed Cumhaill way back when. So obviously nobody's too keen on having his son join the party. But fortunately, Fionn is given a chance to prove himself. See, for the past 23 years, every Samhain, this asshole fairy prince, Aelin Mac Midna, would put everyone to sleep with his music and then burn the roof of the High King's stronghold. Fionn promises the High King that he'll defeat Aelin, and in doing so prove that he deserves to lead the Fianna. Luckily, Fionn happens to have inherited a crane skin bag of magical weapons from Cumhaill and uses a magic red hot spear to stay awake during the magical serenade by stabbing himself in the face. Metal. Then, after a suitably epic fight, Fionn kills Aelin and earns the respect of the High King and the Fianna. Gull willingly steps down, and Fionn becomes the leader of the Fianna. Now let's talk about
what?
He steps down, and Fionn becomes the leader of the Fianna.
And Hedda gives him his house, which fulfills the prophecy thing that caused him to reject Cumhaill in the first place.
Now let's talk about how Fionn gets hitched. So he's out hunting one day, right? And he spots this gorgeous deer. No, let me finish. Which his hounds refuse to let him kill. Intrigued, Fionn leads the deer back to his home, whereupon it turns into a beautiful woman named Sai, who was turned into a deer by the evil Far Daraha. Alright, before you jump up my ass about this, let me talk about why it is literally impossible for me to get these names right. The simplest reason is that there is no one Irish Gaelic dialect. There are at least 3. Munster, Connacht, and Ulster all pronounce stuff differently and—
What? They're different dialect. This is ridiculous.
Even the grammar varies from region to region. Getting it right in one region usually means getting it wrong in at least one other. For this name alone, I found like—
That means that around that time, the different part of Ireland, stayed there. People didn't travel much from place to place. Otherwise, it would be an issue because of the different dialects. So kingdoms, stayed in their business. Yeah.
4 different readings, and I also found that everyone gets really mad if you use the one that they don't. So, if you're, composing an angry comment right now, just be aware that I have almost certainly heard it all before. Moving on, related to that dialect problem, the simple fact is that Gaelic is not optimized for the Latin alphabet. Most obviously, basic building block sounds that should by all rights be single symbols are frequently represented by pairs of letters because there's no single letter that corresponds to them. Beyond that, Gaelic words are hypothetically spelled phonetically, but the unfortunate fact is that those spellings can then be read a bunch of different ways, even if you do have an intuitive understanding of the phonetic rules. Which I do not, because I am bad at this. So yeah, alright. Anyway, Far Daraha, who is a member of the Tuatha De Danann, the pre-Christian gods of Ireland, turns Sive into a deer, and Finn's house somehow turns her back. So Fionn and Sive get married, and Sive ends up pregnant. But one day, while Fionn is out doing his Fianna thing, Sive is lured out of the house by what turns out to be Far Daraha, who turns her into a deer again. Fionn returns home to find the house empty.
What a dick. Again? Man, she can't catch a break, huh?
And searches the woods for Sive to no avail. But 7 years later, Fionn finds a young boy wandering in the woods, spots a resemblance to his missing wife, and realizes that this kid is his son. So he names him Oisin and starts raising him.
7 years later. So a deer went to the woods, gave birth to a human child, deer fucked off. The child basically for 7 years somehow managed to stay alive. This Fionn, this guy, basically finds him. Oh, look at that, that's probably my son. Yeah, what about the, wife? Who cares? It'll be deer. Bam, bam, thank you, ma'am. Why care about it now? Not that go back and find the deer and somehow, break the curse again. But yeah.
Oisin becomes one of the raddest dudes in the Fianna and is an all-around cool guy. Now, as a culture hero, Fionn has a ton of miscellaneous myths about himself, but we've basically covered all the major bases. But before I wrap this up, let's take a hot minute and talk about a literary motif most commonly associated with King Arthur, but also rather famously applies here, the King in the Mountain. In this motif, some great hero, rather than dying, instead bunkers down for a prolonged nap in some local geographical feature, only to awaken in their homeland's greatest time of need or when some other conditions are met. For example, Merlin is supposedly sealed in an oak tree, Charlemagne is said to be in the Untersberg, the Golem of Prague is supposed to be in the attic of the Old New Synagogue, and Vanamoinen, the hero of the Kalevala, just kinda sailed off into the sunset, promising to return in Finland's greatest hour of need. Man, if even half of these legends are true, the apocalypse is gonna be way more interesting than we give it credit for. Yeah. Anyway, this King in the Mountain thing also applies to Fionn and the Fianna, who are said to be sleeping in a cave somewhere in Ireland, only to awaken when the Dord Fionn, hunting horn of the Fianna, is sounded 3 times, whereupon they'll defend Ireland in its greatest time of need, as one does. Gnarly. Another big thanks to our sponsor for this video. The Great Courses Plus is a subscription-based video on-demand learning service.
That is something all the heroes are like, when the Armageddon comes when needed, we'll fight. Obviously this is all myths and it's just stupid. What if these are real? actual Armageddon comes, so we are just standing there with all our knowledge of science and everything. We're just standing there. Oh shit, look at that, that's real. And all these heroes suddenly pop back out and fight. They would be just ridiculous.
Service where you can see top-notch lectures and courses taught by expert professors from the world's best universities. The Great Courses Plus gives you unlimited access to over 8,000 lectures about anything that interests you, with courses in literature, history, science, math, music, and a massive amount more. If you want to learn about something, chances are there's an entire course dedicated to exactly that. It's basically a Netflix for college. So if you like this video and you want to learn more about Irish legends and folklore, you can check out this introductory lecture from the Irish Identity course, The Irish Identity, Independence, History, and Literature, taught by Professor Mark C. Connor. Meanwhile, Blue's been watching a course on Greek and Roman engineering called Understanding Greek and Roman Technology, taught by Professor Stephen Ressler. And hey, having hundreds of courses on tap might come in real handy when midterms and finals roll around. The Great Courses Plus is offering our viewers a free 1-month trial, so click the link in the description below or go to the Great Courses.
Go to the description with the original video page link, and from there click the link and support this channel. Only Sarcastic Production is a great channel. You know, this is one channel that I really look forward to react to because it's always fun, all the myths and even history. This is awesome.
Plus.com/overlysarcastic to start your free trial today. Run away with me.
I'm planning on, talking about, I can't pronounce that, and some other members of the Fionn in more details in later videos. Suffice to say, this stuff isn't all happy fun times in Ireland.
And the poltergeists.
Literally the only excuse I have for using this song is that it's technically from Adventure Time, which has a hero named Fionn, and it mentions chilling in a cave. How much detail is she gonna put? I mean, she actually found a song which has a hero named Fionn and she's playing that. Look at that. I hope I didn't strain anything with that reach. Ace of fun.
Through the darkness and play by our own rules.
This was a great video. Man, I like all this Irish thing. Cumhaill, now this Fionn Cumhaill. That was awesome. Alright people, if you like my reaction, don't forget to subscribe. Check out the reaction I did. There's a link in the description. Check out the cast with the playlist. Check out the end cards, and I'll see you next time.